Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another episode of Chat with Kat, where I have real chats with real people about real life experiences. And today I have the wonderful Georgia on with me, who
Ooh,
we are doing a episode about creativity, curiosity, and designing your life after awakening, and how to balance everything when you have a lot of plates spinning because we all go through it, but we also all grow through it. So I just wanted to take a
amen.
moment, Georgia, welcome you on today.
Thank you so much, Kat, for having me. I feel so blessed. This is my first podcast.
Oh, yay!
I know. Sorry if I'm like royally excited and I speak too quickly. Sorry about it.
That's okay. I do that when I'm excited. My brain and my mouth don't keep up with each other. So
Yep.
you
The
get what you get.
spinning plates.
Yeah.
The spinning plates are going, We're going.
Yeah. And that's okay. You know what? It's entertainment. We gotta, give people what they're looking for is a little bit of entertainment. So to start
Amen.
off, I always ask people, tell me a little bit about your background. What was life like growing up and how you arrived to this point in your life today?
Oh, have you got a few hours, Kat?
I do,
So
actually.
well, well,
But to
well.
the viewers.
Um, it's worth the wait, I promise. So what was my life growing up? So I grew up without a dad. My mum did everything that she could to the best of her ability. I love her so much. I grew up with three older brothers who have different dads. They are very beautiful people in my life. I had a spiritual awakening probably like it was kind of like it was nice. It was easy and it was gentle. It wasn't like we're going into a breath work and then like bam, Kundalini yoga kind of vibes. It was so I started as a personal trainer when I was like 19. And when I first got into the industry, my boss was like obsessed with personal development and goals and like striving for things and like, what's your 5-year plan? And I was like, I don't know, I've never done this before, So I was kind of sent on that trajectory of like, okay, what's the world have for me? Where are the opportunities? Where do I want to put myself?
Mm,
So I started kind of like ticking off goals. I did a half marathon. What?
wow.
That was fun. No, it wasn't. I wouldn't recommend, by the way. Um, yeah. So I kind of just started with the mindset and, the self-love and the, bubble baths and stuff. And then I got a spiritual coach. And did my world turn upside down or what? I remember the first time we did a group channel and she was talking about it being a hive mind. I was like, what the fuck is a hive? Can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just bleep it out.
Whatever
Um,
comes out is fine.
Sweet. Yeah, a hive mind meditation. And I was like, what is that? So we had about 8 people in the group container, like on Zoom, and from all over the world, and we're meditating, and it's basically like all of our consciousness basically connect up into one to create a channeled experience.
Okay.
And that to start with blew my mind. I've never done anything like that before. I was like, what did I just experience? How did I just witness all these things coming in? I was like, is this my imagination? Am I going crazy? Did I just like accidentally take some psychedelics? Like, what is this? So I kind of began to understand that we're more than just a physical human vessel, that we're a spiritual being having a flesh experience. So, you know, going through my PT journey and then being in Melbourne during the COVID days, that sent me down a massive rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was very angry at the world for a little bit there. Um, with divine purpose, of course, because it sent me down the rabbit hole of like the government and cloud seeding and all these conspiracy theories. And I was like,
Yeah.
again, just mind blown at the capacity of which the world is right now.
Corruption at
And
its finest.
all the things, right? And it was kind of hard for me to conceptualize and be okay with living in that world at the same time as being like, we're so controlled, we're so manipulated, like there's so much fucked up shit that's happening in the world. And I feel like this tiny little ant that can't do anything, you know? I was like,
Mm.
fuck that. I'm going to do something about this. And then I was like, I'm going to get fucking so lit and meditate. And so I did my yoga teacher training. Honestly, changed my life. So,
Cool.
like, if anyone is into like yoga teacher training, go do it. I just did it as a self-development kind of thing. And then I was like, oh my gosh, yoga's like the shit. So I could not sit still for probably 5 minutes. And then by the end of the yoga teacher training, I could probably meditate for 2 hours sitting down in one spot. And I was like, this is magic. I didn't actually realize that yoga prepares your body for meditation. Did you know
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
lot of spiritual capacity to it.
right. So I, then there was like the another layer. Oh my gosh, the body and the mind are so interconnected. How do we bridge the gap? How do we settle the mind, bring that consciousness into the heart and into the awareness?
Mhm.
And so after my yoga teacher training, a lot more stuff opened up. I connected with my guides. I went and did unity consciousness. I've done my light codes now. I've done Reiki. And it just kind of like, it's all starting to trickle in and being like, oh, this kind of makes sense now. There you go. You know?
Yeah.
So here we are chatting because of unity consciousness.
Yeah. That's right.
Yay.
We are all one.
Yeah.
That is so
Amen.
exciting. I love what
Yeah.
you said there about how you felt like such a small ant in a big world because when somebody does awaken and you realize what's going on, it gets dark before it gets light. And I'm not saying that to freak people out, but the same thing happened to me. I definitely a couple years before the vid happened was awake, but not to like the capacity when 2020 hit. And I went down the rabbit hole as well. And I was like,
Right.
okay, 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 okay. And then I was, and I was like, what am I even here to do? Like, how am I even going to hold the capacity as me to
Mm,
share this light and this love with other people? And not everyone's meant to, but man,
yeah.
how did it make you feel going through that? Like, so disconnected.
I think also I'm going to touch on this really quick before it leaves my mind.
Hmm.
One thing that I'm noticing is like once people become aware of what they're here to share on the world, share with the world, there's such a massive sense of responsibility,
Yeah.
and like that can be so overwhelming for some people. And it can really put like this massive roadblock of, oh my gosh, I have to, like, I'm this one tiny ant and I have this like massive mission over here. How the fuck am I gonna, like, what?
Mhm.
Um, but I think for me, it was leaning into trust spirit. I
Mm.
think as spirit confirming, um, can we not, okay, there we go. Um, can you ask me the question again? I was like, I lost my train of thought, damn you.
Yeah, like how did you move through that disconnect of where you were, the little ant all the way to like,
Yeah.
what do I do now?
I mean, it was definitely a process, I'm not gonna lie. I think, especially being that ant at the start, I was like, how the fuck does it get better? But
Mm.
that's just a mindset shift, you know? You're like, okay, if we're all ants running around on the same rock, you know, there's more ants around you that want to do the same thing. So I think it's super important to get connected with people that are doing the same thing as you, that want to be impactful in the world, that want to spread love and joy, but also
Oh,
have an anchoring that, yes, you do have a physical body and you're having a physical human experience. That can be challenging in itself, and that's okay. But also, like, for me, church has been like such a saving grace. Like putting my faith in God and Jesus has
mhm.
really led me to let go of, I don't want to say the responsibility, but the weight that the responsibility carries.
Yeah,
Um, and to be like, okay, I'm going to get there when the timing is right. And I'm just going to take baby steps to get there because, the disconnect can be so real when you don't have friends or family around you that get it. Or if you
yeah,
don't have a connection that really goes, yeah, you're not crazy. You are here to do big things, and you are here to like really make an impact on the world. So I think it's really difficult also if no one believes in you,
Mm.
you know?
You have to find it in yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So how did you navigate that when that awareness came? Is like, hey, well, there's no one really encouraging me or cheering me on. Now I have to
Mm-hmm.
do this for myself.
Yep. And I think it's the, okay, what direction do I want to go? Because, we have so many options at our fingertips. I was writing down like all the healing modalities I've tried, and I was like, there's a lot of stuff here. And it's kind of just like peeling back all those layers, like
Mm.
looking at yourself, trying to find a deeper meaning and purpose for why you're here, basically.
Yeah.
And I think there's two sides to the coin, right? The human experience of like enjoying your food and like making a physical vessel like, able and mobile and, being a PT, that's like what I live for. But also, going bowling. And like if you like alcohol, having a drink and, indulging in like the worldly things, but also like, are you praying? Are you meditating? Are you connecting with source? Are you, doing a yoga flow to connect with something deeper than this?
Mm.
No?
Yeah.
And that doesn't get to come from anything else. Like no one in your circle gets to have your spiritual experience.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you in your life now separate the two, like having the human meat suit experience versus having the spiritual experience and staying connected and in tune?
Honestly, I try not to separate them. I
Mm.
try and bring them together as much as I can. And like when I'm in the gym, I'm listening to worship music. When I'm on my yoga mat, I'm listening to mantras or things that I know are going to be really um it's going to crack me because I want to stay open to any possibilities and the energy that's flowing through me because I'm getting so many messages, right? And I think that sometimes if we do separate the humanness from the spiritual, you don't get to really interact. Like if I'm at work and I'm on the computer and I get a download, I'm not going to be like, okay, that can wait. I'm on
Right.
the computer now. No, it's not, that's also not how it works. You're just going to get them whenever they come in. So I think it's just best to be so present with what's coming in. Is that mine? Is it from spirit? Is it my stuff?
Mm.
And just being able to listen and discern what that is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to speak a little bit too on finding your path, because when we originally connected, you had mentioned like the creativity and the art, and then the
Yeah.
personal training, and then all these things you're kind of navigating through finding
Totally.
the path in your way. So what's come
Yeah.
from that?
Well, far out. So let's go back to my schooling days for a little sec because like I went to a private school. I love my mom for that. Thank you, heaps. But also I wish I had gone to public, but like because I thought that they had a bigger impact in terms of kinesthetic learners. And for me, being kinesthetic learner, I learn by doing. I learn by making things and by like observing and like going and doing something. So if they're writing stuff on the whiteboard or they're teaching something verbally, I'm like, this is fucking boring, right? So I found that in school, I was taught that mistakes weren't okay. And so it really negated my creativity. Funnily enough, art and sport were my best subjects, So my mum always encouraged the creativity side of me. Voila.
Yes.
This was actually my um vision board for this year. Like New Year's Eve, I decided, fuck it. I'm not gonna go out, I'm just gonna stay in, I'm gonna be present with myself. And I made a vision board.
Yeah.
And the I don't know if I'm really even answering this question right, but the creativity for me was coming back to my own essence. It was
Mm.
being able to express whatever I had in my heart outwardly. And like even last night, I had a little bit of a cry, I did some art, and I was like, I'm just gonna paint my cry out. I was like, paint a cry out? What the fuck does that even mean? And I was literally painting and I was crying at the same time. I was like, okay, I get it now, you know? So it was just me finding that passion inside me that was so lit up. Like, okay, if my expression, how do I put that out into the world, you
We might
know?
need
And it was just, again, just uncovering those layers. Whoop, we're good?
it glitched for a second there. So just go back to right after you said the crying and the art part.
Yeah. So the crying in the art was basically about me, like, if I can show up in my deepest essence in whatever I'm feeling and put it out physically into the world, what's that going to look like? And I recently did a piece where I had light codes in it. I put light language into it and I just wrote down the intention of like, God chooses me. You know, God chose me to be here right now in this moment to impact people in whatever way that looks like right now. And for me, art is just that pure essence of someone's soul. If you're able to let go of the outcome, that's what I say anyway.
Yeah.
Um, and just be free with whatever comes through. Yeah.
Yeah. So then what are you working towards in helping other people?
So there's a few things. One is my book.
Ooh,
That is something super close to my heart because one of the mantras that I live by is ask better questions, get better answers. And because I've like started doing the mindset stuff first and then like the spiritual stuff, it kind of went hand in hand for me to go, if I'm asking better questions to my mind, then it's going to have that flow on effect into my spirituality too. And basically, the first part of the book is like 100 questions where you kind of like get to know the parts of yourself that you've never seen before.
love it.
They all coexist with a piece of art as well. So I'm coding all these artworks. I know. And I'm like so excited about that. And then there's a second part, which is like all the men I respect. And then the third part is finding God and my spiritual journey. Um, but I think, you know, not enough people share their experiences or they're afraid to share it because of what people would think of them. Fuck that. Like, my tribe is going to find me because I'm the fullest expression of myself, right? And if I don't tickle people's fancies, that's okay. Like, whatever. You don't have to be in my space, right? But the people that do, they fucking get it,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So the book, I'm especially vibing. The art, vibing, and then light codes. I've done a few sessions now with light codes where we actually had this really special experience at my place where there was 5 of us, and I was like, fuck, we don't have even numbers. We can't like light code each other. Ready for this? One of us laid down, and 4 of us light coded the one person.
Wow.
Yep, it was magic. And I'm sure he won't mind me sharing this, but one of the guys in the container hadn't activated light codes yet or light language yet.
Yeah.
So when we were light coding him, I said, repeat after me, I have the intention to activate light language right now. And he switched it on. And like
What?
that night, as he drove home, he was like, Georgia, like for 2 hours in the car, like I was light languaging, like I couldn't stop myself. I'm like, that's sick, you know? So just having pure source channeled through you, like that is such a gift, you know?
Oh, I can't
Oh,
wait.
you're coming in August, aren't you?
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure I'll be crewing, so I'll get to
Yeah. We'll get to meet. Oh, yeah. I've never even met Georgia in person, FYI. I seem to have a lot of
not
gal
yet.
friends that I have not met yet, but we just have these fast friend soul connections that just kind of happen through this group. And that's the
Yes.
importance of community, you guys.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Kat, was there ever a time where you didn't have community and what was that like for you?
Yeah. I think a lot of times we have a false sense of community by thinking our family is there for us, our friends we've been friends with forever. Um, but at the end of the day, like I wasn't the same person I was yesterday. And, we're not the same person we were a month ago or a year ago. So if time is passing by and you're not constantly connected to these people,
Mm,
what can happen is you just start to drift apart without even realizing. And then you go to reconnect or like have an experience together, go spend some time together, and then just something feels off. So I think there's a huge sense of false community in our world because
mm,
we're taught family has to stick together, if you're friends, you're friends for life or all these things. And like
mm.
I'll just forgive people and trust people and well, where's the boundary? Whereas, like, every time I'm in a coaching container with other people and I really get to know people from all parts of the world, like, I was in a one and all the girls were in the States. I was the only Canadian there. This one, I'm pretty much the only Canadian. There's a lot of Australians. And it's like, I always say, like, when you were mentioning, you'll find your tribe and the right people will connect with you. I always say to myself, do you not think there's 20 soul-led clients that are waiting to work with you? There's 20 people in this world you don't think are going to connect with you when you start to get in
Amen.
your head and you're like, I don't know if I'll find anybody or relationships, you guys. Anybody that's struggling finding love or a relationship. First of all, the love comes from within. Your inner belief system will amplify from your outer experiences, not the other way around.
Amen.
Your outer experiences don't amplify who you are. So I think that,
Love.
yeah, when you look at connection and community, it's finding the ones that are resonating with the inside, not the outside.
For sure. I love that.
Yeah. So who are you looking to serve in this moment in your life right now?
Oh, that's a big question. I love it.
Big
Who am I
question, big
looking?
answer.
Oh, as much as it sounds so cliche, it's like the me 5 years ago, you know, the
Mm,
one that, was in a toxic relationship, didn't really value herself, you know, the one who sort of dabbled in the spiritual realms, but like, didn't have much commitment to that.
mm,
Just someone who was really trying to find her way in the world, and like I'm still trying to find my way in the world, but also I know like I'm so deeply rooted in who I am that,
yes.
you know, this can change, but I know that I'm like so connected. So yeah, just someone who really wants to love and trust themselves. Yeah. And like dig into their creativity, speak their truth. I'm really wanting to expand on, you know, art doesn't have to be 3 hours worth of work that you've like grinded to perfect. I was that perfectionist, but now I'm like, let's just rub some colors together and see how it turns out.
Mm,
Let's like go of the outcome of what we think it has to be and be like, okay, if spirit wants this from me, let's let's take a journey together, So
love that.
people that are open, people that are willing, people that want to do the work when sometimes it gets hard, guys. Sometimes you might get triggered. Sometimes it doesn't feel good and you need to have a really big cry, and that's okay because the human and the spirit gets to go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be polarity and duality in life. Otherwise, we would all just be happy and satisfied and there'd be nothing to work towards.
Also, how fucking boring.
Yeah.
Like, it
Like
would be nice to be happy all the time, but fuck me, it would be boring.
it'd be like that movie. I think it's called like The Island or something, where they're all in the same outfit and they're all wandering around the
Yes.
same little area, all doing the
With
same thing, eating the same.
Scarlett Johansson. Fuck, she's hot.
I know, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, what piece of advice would you have for someone that is gone through their awakening, but is feeling all the feelings and feels like, I don't know where to focus on, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do with myself?
Yeah. That's such a great question because especially if you are alone, you're like, what the fuck do I do? And there's so many options. You can go to a breathwork class, you can go get Reiki, you can go invest in a container, you could go see a life coach practitioner. Um,
Shameless
and
plug.
it's honestly about like following what you think at the time. Using your intuition to go, okay, something here is like either out of alignment or I need a good cry or like something needs to move and shift. What am I going to do in order for me to like let it go or breathe through it? And it's almost something that we don't get taught enough. Not doing anything. It's just sitting in a chair and observing what's coming in and being like, oh, I feel so much grief right now. Can I feel this grief? Can I feel it to the depths of like where it really sucks? And then actually hold myself to be like, okay, I'm okay now, you know? And some people don't have the capacity to do that yet. So you go and talk to someone that you trust and love and that is willing to be like open and listen to what you have to say because like you said about the connection that can be quite false in a way. Sometimes because we're kind of in two worlds, we're like, we've just had our awakening and we're kind of like, it's almost like this changing a path. It's like the crossroads that we're at. Some people are on this trajectory and we're going this way. And you want to be trying to go with someone else if you can. Because it makes it so much better when you have people around you that get it. And that's why I hired my first spiritual coach because I was like, what just went down? Like, there's more that I need to learn here. And I don't know what I'm doing with my prayer or like, you know, I'm trying to like move flames and shit. Like, what is this? So if you have the capacity, hire someone. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So, where can people connect with you?
on Instagram, it's Georgia May .d with love because I'm made with love. How cute am I?
Okay.
So cute. Um, yeah. I'm trying to get my like what I want to portray and what I want to give to the world more what's the word I want to say? I don't have a word for it yet.
Clarity.
Inviting.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Um, because I feel like at the moment there are lots of these spinning wheels at the moment, you know? And all of the wheels, all the wheels. Um, I just want to have more focus and direction to one specific thing. So I'm going to try and give my Instagram some
Love
more
it.
energy, more footwork.
And if you guys haven't gone on her Instagram yet, I will tag it in the show notes, so don't you worry. Um, but yeah, go check out her page. I know that she's been doing some live videos where she's been sharing with you some of the gifts that she has because if we don't share it, nobody can see it. So go check her out,
Amen.
give her some love, show her some support. And if you feel the call to connect with her in whatever capacity that is, definitely reach out to her. I know you'll be well supported. I know you'll be well taken care of. And I always believe, we're all divinely guided to where we're meant to be in that moment. So I
Amen.
just want to take this time to say thank you so much. I'm so honored that this was your first podcast. I'm grateful that we got this opportunity. And do you
Me
have any
too.
closing comments for anyone?
Thank you for inviting me. It's so nice to talk to you like this, you know. I think, during those days of connecting online, we kind of took it for granted almost because it was forced upon us. But now we get to connect with people all over the world. Like, what a gift that is.
It's so cool.
What a gift. Yeah, yeah. But thank you so much for having me. To anyone who's listening, to all the people who are listening, thank you. I hope it brought some value. And if you have any questions about my story or what I want to share in the world, yeah, please reach out. And Kat, again, thank you. I'm so excited.
My pleasure. I can't wait till this airs, and we'll have some fun launch videos coming up for you guys to enjoy. Keep you intrigued in the meantime. But
Yes.
now that I just said that, I realize this will not be out before all that. So awesome. I will end it there.
Lovely.
But thank you guys
Amazing.
so much for tuning in today for another episode of Chat with Kat. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, and connect because that's how we build community together. And I'm building a community of light leaders who want to make an impact, share their light and their love with the world. So thank you again.